Hi everyone, day 2 of the March Madness. We're gonna do the roll up. So I'm gonna have you lay down on your back with your legs straight. So your feet can be feet together or hip width apart. So hip width is you're lined up with your sit bones. So make sure your feet are parallel. So, and keep your pelvis and spine neutral. Remember that cup of coffee on the table, so just make sure it's not spilling towards your chest or spilling to your legs. So the top part of your pelvis should remain flat. So your pelvis should be neutral. That's the most shock absorbing position for the spine. So I'm gonna grab a pole. So I'm gonna bring the pole over my head. So just far enough that you're not popping the rib. So your rib should be still stable. You're not arching the back. So I want you to inhale as you bring your arms to the ceiling. Then you're gonna lengthen the back of your neck. You're gonna slowly curl up, flexing your upper thoracic spine, passing through imprint. So I'm flattening my back and I flex over. So imagine there's an imaginary ball in front of you. Then inhale, then exhale, slowly roll away. Sequentially lower your spine, one vertebrae at a time. So you want to scoop that belly, rounding the back, then come back where you start. Again, inhale. So we'll just do 8 of these. Then exhale, lower your chin. You're gonna roll up, flexing your spine. So what we're looking for here is you're able to come up in sequence from your head to your sit bone, then from your sit bone down to your head back. So inhale, then exhale. So if you cannot do this, we're gonna do the modification later on. So we'll do plenty of modification to help you get to this level that you're able to come up without effortlessly. And try to be aware of which muscles are you working as you do this exercise. So inhale, raise the arm to the ceiling. Then exhale, and lengthen the back of my neck, then flexing from my upper thoracic, passing through imprint, my lower back's flatten out to come up. So basically I'm sliding my rib cage to my pelvis to shorten the obliques. I'm trying to use my oblique muscles, which is in the side of below my rib that's connected to my hip, and my rectus abdominis, your sixth pack, your transverse abdominis, your deep core muscles in your spine that wraps around like a saran wrap or like a corset. So again, inhale, then exhale. So you don't have to do a lot of reps for this type of exercise. The key is you have a lot of control and you're not jerking, you're not elevating the shoulder, you're still stable all throughout as you do this exercise. Okay. I think I lost count. So inhale, let's do 3 more. Then exhale, roll up. So the key is a quality of movement. It's not about how much you can do, because sometimes if you think of a lot of repetition, you're gonna start compensating on the muscles that should not work. We're trying to work the right muscles for the right exercise. So Pilates is not about high repetition, it's about control and quality of movement. So you gotta concentrate each movement, and eventually it becomes more second nature. So you could use a pole. You know, I'm using a pole in order for me to just feel where my shoulders are at. And sometimes if I just without, you know, you could also do it without a pole, but it's I just want to feel where my scapula is setting. So having the pole helps your brain to think where your arms are at or your shoulder blades are at. So later on I'm going to use some the props. So hopefully you were able to do that exercise. So right now I'm going to show you some of the modification. So modification means, it's not harder or easier, it's more what's fit for your body. So so one props I use is a pole. You could buy this probably in a Home Depot, probably 2.5 feet or 3 feet would do. It's very cheap, maybe a few dollars, or maybe a broomstick would do as well. So one modification I'll do to do the roll up, if you're not able to curl yourself up. So it's either you have a weakness in your obliques or you're lacking any mobility in your lower back. So either or. So this is a good start. So inhale from the top of your head. You're gonna bring it up and you're just gonna curl up, sliding that ribs down to your pelvis, then come back down. So it's like a crunch with a straight leg position. So I'm keeping my feet parallel, and that's it. So you could start with this. I'll do like 5 to 10. So inhale, bring it up to the ceiling, then exhale, lengthen the back of the neck. So I initiate with my neck before I come up. Then my eye gaze is in front of me. I don't look up to the ceiling, but where I'm heading. So there's no strain in your neck. And try to keep your feet parallel. Again, you could do it hip width apart or legs together. So if you wanna, you could also use legs together to activate your adductor muscles. Okay, then come back. So that's one way. It's a good prep. And what you want to avoid is tilting the pelvis when you're coming up. So it's just focus on just sliding that ribs towards your pelvis. So we're trying to strengthen that oblique muscle. Another one also is you could use a flex band exercise. I'll send you the link below on my channel, so you could get this on Amazon. And I use a lighter band, so I start here. So inhale, so instead of my arms over my head, I'm just gonna curl up. So the tension of the strap helps me to come up, and I slowly roll down. So if you're top heavy or if you're heavier on your upper body, so this is a good support to lower yourself down. So remember, the muscle contract both directions when you're curling up. Then also when you're resisting away, when you're rolling down, try not to waste any of those muscle contractions. So concentric is coming up, eccentric is coming down. Basically my hips is moving away from my thigh to open up, to release that hip flexor and strengthen that hip flexor in an eccentric motion. You could also use a ring, and you can use a ring. So this is your ring. So it's a fitness circle by Pilates. I'm married to you. So this is the light version. So I use it to stabilize my shoulders. It's a nice feel. So I know where my shoulder is setting. So I can use this to roll up, inhale, then exhale. So it helps my scapula to be stable. Then roll down. Again, inhale, then exhale. Then come back down. Another props I use is a pad, like an inch pad. So so for some of us who have a forward head, I suggest to put a pad like this to elevate your head. So when you're looking to the ceiling to begin, you're not looking like this, you're not hyperextending your neck, so you're in proper placement. So it's easier to come up, then roll down. Because if you're hyperextended, starting in a hyperextended position, there's a lot of strain in your neck. And also if you have like vertigo, I would suggest to double up with the pad. So I'll double up or something thicker. So if you don't have a pad, you could also use a towel, as long as you're not straining your neck. So you want to put something behind your head. So that's the roll up. So I'm going to show you in a different angle so you can see from the side. So arms up, overhead. So make sure your pelvis is spine neutral, your ribs are not popping. So inhale as I bring my arms to the ceiling. I lengthen my back of my neck, curling from my thoracic spine, passing through imprint, then flex over. So it's not about reaching past your toe, it's about flexing your spine. We call it vertical neutral, so your pelvis is in neutral. So again, inhale, then exhale, flex forward. Inhale, then exhale. So be aware of not elevating your shoulder, keep your scapula stabilized. So in my head, I'm thinking of lengthening the back of my neck. Then I'm gonna curl up one vertebrae at a time. So I'm feeling my spine curl up. So in sequence, inhale, stay, then exhale. I'm rolling away from my femur. My hip flexors is holding me up to go down to the mat, back to the mat. And that's the roll up. So these are all exercises that builds up to, something greater later on. But hope you enjoy that day 2 of the March Madness. So see you tomorrow. So you could also add day 1 and build up to day 2. Bye.